must succeed. Let's make sure that history never forgets the name. Enterprise. Guard out.
Our lives are different to anybody else's. That's the exciting thing. Nobody in the universe can do what we're doing.
Greenville, I am calling battle station. Anything can happen in the next half hour.
Oh, hundreds and hundreds, but don't worry. I started a very long time ago.
Calling the War Council of Gallifrey. This is the Doctor.
You might say I've been doing this all my lives.
Good luck.
Stand by.
Ready. Commencing calculations. Turn me there.
Across the boundaries that divide one universe from another.
Got a lock onto his coordinates.
And for my next trick, I didn't know when I was well off. All 12 of them.
No, sir.
Ah! All 13!
Yes, indeed, ladies and gentlemen, good evening, good morning. This is what we want, a bit of rabbi action on Saturday night. It's been known to happen, baby. Anyway, well, we're in an interesting place with Doctor Who now. I think that's where we got to start off. We're in an interesting place with Doctor Who, and I think we've proven it's categorically so the Ncuti Gatwa Rusty Davies queer era, right? Because it was queer right from Starbase, right? The queer era is qualitatively better, and those words I didn't expect to come out of my mouth are qualitatively better than the Jodie Whittaker era, right? I think we've scientifically proven that. But how? How have we scientifically proven that? Well, tonight I have to tell you, aside from some I would call weak writing that gave very obvious plot holes. And there was quite a lot of that, actually. And it's just like, and it could have been, they didn't need to be there, right? And of course, the drag factor that is Ncuti Gatwa, right? I finally worked out how this terrible performance of Doctor Who came about, right? It was Rusty Davies the other day, right? And he was talking about Ncuti crying. And they asked him, was that scripted? He's like, no, Ncuti did that. And when you have genius like that at work, you don't want to stop him. This is basically Ncuti Gatwa being a 2025 version of Quentin Crisp, like super camp. And Rusty goes, well, I don't know, people can just worry about it like that's as normal as anything else. No, it fucking isn't, Russell. Right? It doesn't work. I mean, I don't know. It just doesn't work at all. Right? And like makes the character lack mystery. It's like a very bad idea. Like a very bad idea. I mean, honestly, could you imagine if you go back in time? Right? I go back in time to my 1983 self, right? My 1983 self was like, you want to know how awesome the future is? Firstly, look at all the shit we got. This isn't a set. This is like your life. I mean, fuck me, look at that. Oh, I don't know what a lot that is, but it all looks good. Oh, yeah, I'll be really excited about that. This would be my future, right? I'll say, it's even better than that, right? It's even better than that. You have a very, very accurate Nicola Bryant Perry figure. I'm like, what? That you could? Yes. But it's even better than that. How's it even better than that? You have another very accurate Nicola Bryant figure. That's how awesome the future is. However, there is the dark storm cloud of the future where after a frankly atrocious era of Doctor Who, where it hemorrhaged ratings and became a laughingstock, right? And just failed in every way because they cast somebody to play Doctor Who who's super not qualified to play it. So they didn't know what to do, right? And they didn't understand the role. You can really, okay, how do you understand the Jodie Whittaker Doctor Who? It's like, it's a dumb chick trying to understand Doctor Who. So she this is how she understands it, so she can play it, right? So she can play it. She just didn't understand it, right? And she couldn't understand it. Like, she couldn't understand that the sonic screwdriver wasn't a magic, was it? Oh, you just go working it around like, oh, it keeps up, right? And she couldn't understand why that didn't work, right? You understand why that? No, couldn't pull that one together. But the Shooting Catway era is qualitatively different, right? I would say it's but it's with the exact same. Oh yeah, I'm telling my youngsters. Yeah, so after that era, they say, oh, they bring back a guy who made the bestest, Doctor Who that you just loved, right? You absolutely adored that Doctor Who. So I was like, oh, I bet it's going to be good. Yeah, and then they decided for the Doctor, their main actor. I mean, after bringing back an old beloved Doctor and then having him be shouted at by a man in a dress saying, how dare you not intimate somehow you think I might be a bloke just because I have a pee-pee. And the Supreme Court says that I'm a bloke. Okay, just why? Right, like, how dare you? You know, a male presenting Time Lord. What does male presenting me, you dumb fuck? Oh, fuck me. Oh, yeah, honestly. So, yeah, I'm trying to explain it to my 12-year-old self. Yeah, why don't we play Doctor Who as, like, one of those most annoying gay bloke you ever met, right? Who thinks he's fucking awesome and everybody loves him and nobody does. That's how they play Doctor Who. I know. That being said, that drag factor being, recognized, and a poor script with many plot holes. When I say it's a poor script, if a plot hole occurs to me while I'm watching it and it takes me out of it, I think that's a poor script. All right, and they were very obvious plot holes. It was actually a good episode, best episode since what's it called again? What's Capaldi's last episode? Not World Enough in Time, not The Doctor Falls. It was the one after that. Twice Upon a Time. Hands down. It's not even close, right? It's not even close. It's the best episode since Twice Upon a Time. And that's quite a long time ago now, right? I mean, what was that? 2016, 2017? That's clocking on. That is a long time ago. So it's a bit. It's somewhat amazingly an unpretentious episode. In like it's very modern Who, right? It certainly wouldn't. You have some episodes of Doctor Who that you can like reimagine in classic Who, right? I mean, funnily enough, I also thought that way about the what was it? The Witch's the Witch's Apprentice? Was it the Witch's Familiar and the Psychic Apprentice? The Wizard's Apprentice, the Witch's Familiar, something like that. That Dalek two-parter. I could really see that as a John Pertwee Delgado story, right? Can you just imagine John Pertwee being introduced in the beginning of the season, coming on a tank, playing a guitar, looking like Jimi Hendrix? That would be fucking awesome. Wearing shades. I mean, I can imagine that. I think that I do. That's why I always liked it when I saw Capaldi do it, right? But it just in your mind's eye, imagine John Pertwee do it. I think it's awesome. Yeah, I liked it when it happened, right? I like Capaldi though. What do you want me to tell you? I liked him in Dark Mirror. Yeah, the last I thought that was really good. I'm surprised I didn't realize Netflix has games, right? And they got the game that was in Dark Mirror, his episode, as a game you can play. I'm like, oh, I'll give that a go. That sounds fun. Nobody has any games on phones anymore. Remember Angry Birds? Right? Nobody thinks about that shit anymore. And there's nothing came along to replace it. I guess we got too sucked into social media. Yeah, fuck me. That's the sign of the power of social media, that we forgot games. But yeah, a very well directed episode. I would say very well directed, very spooky. It's not a million miles away from the horror of Fang Rock, right? It's got that sort of. It's not based on the siege sort of thing. I don't know. Is it? Not really. It's the horrors from within. A very intelligent use of what's her name? Rose Ailing, whatever her name is, the deaf actress. Okay, but I want to say brass tacks though, right? And no one's going to be prepared to admit this. I bet there's a significant part of the viewing public, which isn't very big anymore, right? That when they struggle to understand what she's saying, which I did, right? I paused things and went back and put the subtitles on. Because I'm like, what the fuck you saying? Right? I only had to do that once or twice. But like, look, here's the thing. Anybody who's worked in sales knows this, or anybody who's worked in fundraising knows this. You want to put the minimum barriers, the absolute minimum barriers up between you and the sale, right? Between you and people only going through with whatever it is you want them to do, right? You want to put the minimum barriers up, and that's a barrier, right? I'm sorry to tell you it's a barrier. Yeah, I mean, I understand that's not our best nature. But oh well, somebody else liked on Facebook. More people like on Facebook. That's cool. I've never been liked on Facebook before. I mean, like, you know, metaphysically or you know, actually, as we hear. So anyway, yeah. I thought that was okay. The difference between this and Nabil Shabana's Sil, right? Sil wasn't written with in mind they would have some actor with some. You know, I don't even know what the politically correct term is. Disfiguration. I don't want to be a dick to him at all, right? Actually, I do, because he's like literally, he's contacted people about me personally and said my boys are in the army. Yeah, they are, and they're going to come and assassinate him or other. I'm like, why? Why, Nabil? Why would they do like really? Firstly, they're not high enough up to do that, right? And secondly, you're not important enough. So, you know, I mean, I guess it's kind of you're a low priority target from, like, you know, people who are not elevated to ranks of assassins. Oh, I feel bad for my son. I think he went back into Gaza today on Sabbath, and the reason I feel bad for him, it's just so boring, right? It's just so boring. You know, because you can't play on your phone or anything. You're just like sat. You know, you got maybe bring something to read with you. But oh, yeah, I tell you, the reward in heaven he gets for keeping Sabbath in those circumstances, I think is remarkable. Right? I'm very. That's always been him though. He is tough as nails, that kid. There's also been a real sweetie as well. He's very much like his name, right? He's like his name is Ariel, which means lion, right? And he could be, yeah. His nature is like a small stuffed cuddly lion. Like imagine if what's the name of that cartoon strip? Calvin Hobbes from Calvin and Hobbes was a lion instead of a tiger. That sort of like cute little lion, right? But yeah, he can be the real type as well. Anyway, God bless him. Anyway, I'm talking about this episode of The World. So, very good use of it. Okay, so yeah, so they did Nabil Shaban, and I don't think Sil was written for, you know, an actor with that kind of, you know, physical, you know, presence. I think they thought John Nathan Turner was. I think it's brilliant casting, right? I think John Nathan Turner was fucking brilliant for casting Nabil Shaban as Sil. I mean, that I've never thought about that before. I really got to look into how that happened. But yeah, that does feel like a John Nathan Turner idea, right? And he's like, oh yeah, get it. And it's not. So that feels just genuinely earned, right? Whereas this feels it was written to make a point about to be inclusive to deaf people, right? Which I'm not opposed to, right? Honestly, I'm not opposed to. I'm like, no, deaf people, you can fuck right off. I'll be like, no, more the merrier. It's okay. It's okay. I mean, but it feels a bit patronizing for it, right? I think that's where I am. It feels a little bit patronizing. But look, I'm focusing on all the downsides. It was a good episode. I'm telling you, it was a good, creepy episode. Shooty was, well, excruciating at many points during it. Yes. That's life with Shooty. Excruciating at many points. He was his most restrained I've seen him, which, thank God. I guess he restrained himself. Oh, yeah. So I was saying, how did he start and he does have a cry this week as well. How did the cry start? Yeah, Russell even said, oh, it looked fantastic. Right? No, Russell. Here's what this production needs, right? Somebody, and I will do the job as long as the pay is good, with a sock full of human excrement, right? A sock, right? And you twizzle it around. And when Russell comes up with an idea like that, he goes, bam, in the face, and don't hurt him. It's just to smash human excrement into his face. Bam, into his face. No, Russell. No. Bad idea. But I want to do Walking Dead. No. No. That's what Russell needs. Somebody go, no. Right? Maybe a rolled up newspaper might do the trick. I don't know. But that's what he needs. But I don't want to say that people in wheelchairs are evil. You're not. Nobody thought that until you said it. There's a great clip in Ted where they're talking about opening a bar and letting Jews in, right? And said, yeah, and we're just not going to mention it. It's just going to be fine. No, and but why are you bringing it up? Yeah, that's exactly what we're going to be like. It's like that. It's a bit like that. Being said, it's a. I see casting a deaf person, having a deaf person at the core of this story. I think that's probably where the story started. And my guess is, I think it would have started with the new writer, what's her name, who did not embarrass herself with the script, even though the script had weaknesses. That did not come over as a diversity hire, right? But I reckon she had that germ of idea that connecting the creature from Midnight, which is a very audio creature, to somebody who's deaf, is interesting. The execution of it is, but it's also a very good spooky story. It's very similar. I think it borrows heavily from things like Event Horizon. Yeah, I think that's fair. It borrows very heavily from things like that. Again, that's for me. That's the problem with Doctor Who in general. Doctor Who really needs to be setting the trends rather than following them. Yeah, you can see all the money it had poured into it. Like you see, like these sets look incredible and expensive, right? So but then I can't help thinking. I mean, they're literally set in like it's a mining base. Like it would have been as good in one of those like nuclear power stations they used in Blake 7, right? It really would have been as good. It's so I don't think it's money well spent, frankly. Let's get to the chat before I get to the actual episode. 1 second. Doink. Yeah, let me get the thumbnail. Oh, we like a bit of thumbnail. She cried. Share screen. Doink. Will this episode do as badly as the other two? No, it's got Rose Ailing Ellis in it, and she's deaf. So if you criticize it anyway, you're an evil bigot. Yeah, there is a bit of that going on. There is a bit of like, you can't criticize this, you big. And then, thankfully, it's the best episode they've done. So yeah, why is this qualitatively better than Jodie? Because it took 20 episodes before they could do something that looked and felt basically like competent Doctor Who to a normie with an atrocious lead that didn't work in any way, shape, or form. Right? I would say that is true of the later Jodie era. Right? Flux and the Legend of the Sea Devils, they really didn't want to do. They just didn't want to do. They took the budget from from the Power of the Doctor to that. And also they cut the budget of the Christmas one, Eve of the Daleks, in half. Right? So maybe they had to make the Christmas. Yeah, I think they had to make the budget for the Christmas special, that they made it into two specials. Right, so you did get a feeling it was a lot of them being very huffed and pissed off with the Legend of the Sea Devils, which was shit. But okay, I think like Power of the Doctor is the culmination, like much in the same way that Talons of Weng Chiang is a culmination of the Hinchcliffe Holmes Doctor Who. I think Power of the Doctor is the culmination of the Chibnall Whittaker Doctor Who. Right, and it's the one where they got it most right, essentially by sidelining the Doctor as much as humanly possible. But it starts off right with quite a good pastiche on a action adventure thing, which will be something from the Matt Smith era, right? So it did very positive. I like the use of Sidemen. I like Sacha Dhawan as a master. I liked the Rasputin dance. I thought that was awesome. Okay. I would have liked that in any era, right? I like Capaldi on the tank, okay? I like that a lot. I liked him becoming the Doctor, right? I bet what was the drawback? Jodie fucking Whittaker, right? Oh, there's no polishing that turd, and it's the same with Judy Gatwa, right? It really is. There's no way, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? There's really, there's no making it better. Like, this is his best he's done, in my opinion, right? And it's still, it's like, there's several cringe moments in this, which whatever. We'll talk about them in a minute. But like, it took the Chibnall era 20 episodes before they could make a pastiche of Doctor Who that kind of felt that way to a normie who wasn't really watching, right? It took the queer era. Are you going to count the specials? Yeah, I guess you got to. I'm sorry. I was going to say 8 episodes. Only took them 12 episodes to work out how to do it, right? I think that's fair. Because I will say, of the 3 episodes we've seen this year, they've all been largely competent. You got the Robot Revolution was fucked beyond belief by making it like an anti-white man, working class white man story. But there's a lot about it that was good. A lot about it that was Judy Gatwa. Yeah, and I'll say the same thing with the one last week with the Mr. Ring-a-Ding. Right, there's a lot about it that was good, but you got Judy Gatwa, right? It's like there's no polishing that turd, right? It's just never gonna work. She gets better and better by the week by Verada Seethu, right? She deserves, I know, big time success. I mean, like she's really good. I'm surprised how good she is, and she's very sexy. But yeah, she's really good. Far more better than Judy Gatwa. A lot of range as an actor. You feel empathetic towards her, which is good. That's what you want. She's very good, right? I feel bad. Like Sacha Dhawan in the Jodie era, I feel bad they were dumped in this shitstorm, right? But she deserves like a huge career. Right, I would love to see her. What sci-fi thing would I like to see a headline? Oh, that's a good question. I don't know. Maybe Laser Razor should be pretty darn good as Laser Razor. right? What's her name? Like laser razor and press button. Who would you get to be press button? I don't know. There's so many we could get. What other comic character? What franchise would I like to see a headline? That's interesting. I have to think about that. Like, I don't know. Venus Blue Jeans, maybe from 2000 AD. But she's good. Okay, genuinely, she's she brings a lot of class and quality to this production. I can see why I can see why she got the job. I think she probably got the job because they saw she was available and worked with her as they got really nervous about Millie Gibson. All right. And I think if she wasn't there being as good as she was in Boom, right? Which, again, I thought was a shit episode. Right? I really do. Again, this year, the 3 episodes have been better than anything they've done before. Right? Really, very surprisingly qualitatively better. Right? Which it breaks my heart because this is the end. I mean, they're not. What's the overnight's going to be for this? I don't know. Which is a shame, really, because it's quite a good episode. I'll tell you this: I think the overnights are going up next week because this was a good episode. Right? I really do. Anyway, let's get to chat. I'll just show you what I've been up to. It was on my channel. This was on yesterday. And what a great thumbnail. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, don't mind me. I'm just clickbait. Oh, and what glorious clickbait you are, Verada, if I may say so. If I'm saying your name wrong, consider changing to the way I'm saying it's better. It'll be good for you. But yes. So that was Ross Davis, Babbles Bollocks. What else have we got on here? We got Black Mirror, season 7 review. Best season in years. Absolutely. I think the best season since the first Netflix season. And we had Andor, which again, I'm amazed. I really liked. I did not expect that. I did not expect to really, really like it. By the way, these are totally my 2 favorite characters. These two, the intelligent people, right? I really like them. But yeah, it's I fully expected to hate it, and freaking a lot. Here's the thing: once you tuned into what it actually is, I think it's sort of like it's trying to be Game of Thrones and Star Wars, and I think more or less succeeding this season. I found the first 6 episodes really boring. I don't know now if I found them boring or if I didn't understand what type of show it was, right? And I wasn't really tuned into it. Maybe I should go back and give them a rewatch, right? Maybe I don't know. Look, I mean, ever since I decided I was completely wrong about Westworld, and it did not go woke, it was actually very good. I've been very open-minded to giving things a second look if I have time. Which movie I've always wanted to watch again. I want to watch it actually a couple times again so I can really understand it. Is Tenet. Right, I think there's a great story in there if I can just understand what the fuck it is. And I'm a reasonably clever guy. Like, if I can't get it, it's too complicated. I'm your barometer, mate. In fact, you want it stupider than me. Right? I'm too clever for you. Right? If I can't get it, fuck off. But yeah, this was actually surprisingly good. And I think the hoo-ha about the rape scene is nothing. I think it's very weird. I don't think there shouldn't be any hoo-ha about that at all. Anyway, let us get to the chat, ladies and gentlemen. Who is here? OG is here. If you don't learn sign language, we're criminals. Only if you're a nurse. Shooty thinks he's in some gay Starship Troopers porn. Yeah, you're not wrong, actually. That does sum up his performance. An unnecessary sequel. I think so. I think the sequel happened is because the new writer had the idea. Because I think having her being deaf plays very well into that creature, right? Just so much of it is clunky. Just honestly, Ralph C. Davis is done. He's tired. See, that's that. I found all of his scripts to feel very tired with and that's why there's so much wokeness in them, right? Much like the violence in 85, right? In Colin Baker's, only full season. It's because the violence and this gratuitous sex was also, I think, there to fill up the void left in creativity. Right, and that's why, generally speaking, don't think it worked. But I think his wokeness is filling up his emptiness of creativity. PD Richards here. Thank God I didn't watch that. It's not worth it. I couldn't recommend it. Right. OTSA 8th Doctor story. The Doctor and companion go to an under construction colony that has a virus running rampant. The Doctor goes to the future to get the cure. Goes back to the past and arrives a few days later to wipe the memories of the past few days to protect the he goes back to get the cure, goes back to the past and arrives a few days later to wipe the memories of the past few days and protect the timeline. Okay, so nobody fine. Okay, yeah, I can see it'll be fun. Medic Hoyland is here. How do you, Medic Hoyland? Die, Doctor, die, Miss Lebetkin. No. I expect you to watch new Doctor Who. It's just dying inside. Right? That's just dying inside. The Doctor tells the workers how to use the cure and rollout happens before he returns to... Well, yeah, you would have thought they would have saved the world by then. Mariana is a card, apparently. Well, good for you, sir. Good for you. Darren M is here. How you doing, Darren M? Thank you for joining us. Kevin Fears, my 7-year-old grandson has just started the 9th Doctor era. I'm so such a good time. Oh, gas! Well, you got to watch it with him. Oh, you've got to watch it with him. It's such a great age to watch that with. Oh, I got this. A neighbor of mine lives across the street. It's a single mother, and I've known her since she was little. Right, really, really good, nice person, right? And she's got, she's a single mother. She's got this really cute little kid. I can't wait till he's old enough till I can start showing. I really want to start showing him Thunderbirds now. I keep sending it to him, hey, show him Thunderbirds. Yeah, don't show Thunderbirds. Yeah, she never gets around to it. And it's free on YouTube. Oh, this kid would love Thunderbirds, right? It's really made for him, right? Because there's lots of cool repetitive stuff. Kids like cool repetitive, like the countdown. 5, 4, yeah. Thunderbirds are go. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, and they like the modules. Perfect for a 7-year-old. Oh, and also Doctor. Yeah, you're right, Chris Eccles. Oh, it's going to be so much fun. It's funny. My older son his wife were here for Sabbath, right? And they just bought a plot of land in the desert, essentially, Beersheba, near around there. And they're saying they're building on paper. They're building. What do? They build on paper. You buy on paper and you get it cheaper. Right, because you're never sure it's actually going to get built. But they're building across the street from him, these larger apartments, right, which would be just right for me and my wife. Right, we're getting older, but then we could be across the street, and they're like, and you will babysit my daughter-in-law. Like, yes, would actually really enjoy that, right? So we're really thinking, we've essentially paid off the house we're in right now. We could totally get a loan with this house as collateral to buy us a new apartment on paper, right? And move down, move down to the desert with him, man. But anyway, if I was babysitting, yes, we would be watching Doctor Who together. What are we up to? He told the teacher that Slovene were his fave because they farts. Yes, and that was Ralph C. Davis at his best. Right, the reason he put Mickey being eaten by a bin is because he knew the bin day was on Monday, right? The Monday after Doctor Who, the people will see all the bins out, and the kids' imagination will spark. And he had it so right. It's the gay shit. I'm sorry. Everything else was got right. No, I did watch this one. It was a decent episode. Yeah, I did. There's a lot of good. Well, there's a lot I'm going to share on it about. But generally speaking, there's a lot I thought was good. Would also have Cabo's Voodoo Charles to WTW Wrestling to do an entrance to NWO. I don't know. I had you up until NWO. Okay, now I don't know. Losing me out here. Between some of the acting and some of the woke talking points, it was a normal episode. Like yes, it was unpretentious. Wasn't trying to do anything. It was just being Doctor Who, right? Which is something it hasn't met for a long time, right? It's a bar it hasn't got up to for a long time. Peter Rich says, I'm starting to think Russell Davies shouldn't be writing for Doctor Who without a more experienced writer. Yeah, exactly. And also, he shouldn't really be writing. He needs to take a long break. Yeah, the woke mind virus, it does debilitate you, right? Mrs. Lisa Pertwee here is, hey there, Mrs. Lisa Pertwee. Peter Rich says, your boys in Rally Army, not boss. Oh, yeah, no, I'm not joking. He literally contacted people I know, podcasters I know, saying, watch out, it will have you killed. You know why? Okay, and the story gets wilder. I put out a 1-minute video, a YouTube short, saying, happy birthday, Namble Shaban. I was like, Lindsay was nice, and say he's done great stuff, and I recommended a couple of things. I said, there's another thing called, he did this Devil Seeds of Dread, wasn't really for me, but everything else, but I will go for that over there. He freaked out that I didn't think it was good, right? And from that, he went to, I'm going to send my boys to assassinate him. I'm like, what? But that's really how he thinks. They're crazy. People are absolutely crazy. But we had the death character in Under the Lake before. Oh, you're right. Done better, making more sense. Good point. But yeah, the whole thing did feel like warmed over. But again, this is very, very similar. Oh, Alien 3, problem being, you're absolutely right. Did everyone enjoy Alien 3, the creature thing from the Quatermass pit? Oh man, are you nailing it? And yes, that's really funny. I also put Event Horizon in there. But yes, and with such an unnecessarily large budget, they certainly should have filmed it in the same place. They Blake 7 filmed in the the power stations, right? I used to like those things, Blake 7. TARDIS Hours is here, but yeah, what do you call it again? We go back and see the comment. The Alien 3 creature thing from the Quatermass pit, just so much. Yes, it was very derivative, right? You saw another reaction video, even though I promised I wouldn't. Well, don't torture yourself, mate. Don't torture yourself. TARDIS Travels is here. I mean, there was one white guy. I'm going to talk about this, and he was in the background, and there were there to be killed. Yes, all the other men were killed. The only the diverse women, mostly white, survived. I know. In a lesbian lead and die for nothing. Well, I thought it was reasonably dramatic. Right, my first point of review is, did I think this would be entertaining to a normie? Right, and yes, I did, with a few reservations, but I don't think it's gonna. What do you think the overnights are going to be? I mean, like we had, what was it down to? Went to 1.6 or something last week. Well, it was like really bad. Hang on, let's have a look. Doctor Who ratings. Oh, a key thump. EB ratings. Next week I'm very optimistic about. It's a Doctor Light episode, and written by Pete McTeague. So last week was 1.58. Blimey, that's low, isn't it? Right. I think this will be lower than that because I think it's getting squeezed and like beaten down. I think this will be lower than that. I think this will probably be something like 1.43 or something. If I don't see the decline arresting. Although again, we'll find out tomorrow. I have no idea. I'm saying 1.43 for now. Right, and that's not a reflection on the quality of it. I think I'll probably go back to. I think week after will be 1.67. right? Because I think this was a better quality episode. Yeah. What's happening in the chat? There we go. What's going on? Queerlander, Dr. Wholander. Yes. Yeah, it's not very doctory. All right, like I wouldn't want to be alone in the TARDIS with this guy. I really think he'll be giving me a blowjob while I'm in my bedroom. Like, what's going on? Oh, it's being friendly. No, don't be friendly. Don't be Michael Jackson friendly. You know the old joke. Why did Michael Jackson like 25-year-olds? Because there's 20 of them. You know, they even started well when it went on to pedophilia joke. 41 minutes in. Love the fact JNT went on a 2-week holiday for location shoots for Yellow Fever and only some video from the cable car. If he'd been around now, he could have done a world cruise. I know. Oh, JNT knew how to look after himself. Oh, Dr. Alex is here. I'm going to be reviewing the next two. I saw you sent me a message. I haven't listened yet. I'm going to be reviewing the next 2 episodes in this. My alternative to whatever this is, season 2. Season 14. It's really good. I'm really enjoying it. Lonnie wrote an episode in it tonight, and myself too. And when I say I did a fantastic job, absolutely fantastic. I'm always impressed with myself. How you doing, Dr. Alex? By the way, you wanna break the ice after lovemaking, right? After you reach sexual, you can see you get incredible information here on my channel. After we reach your sexual climax or satisfaction, right? As you're heaving, for breath, say, to announce that you were fantastic. Not you were. That I was fantastic. You were pretty good too, but I was great. That always goes down well, right? If you don't get a laugh out of that, try wiping your knob on her curtains, right? And that bound to get a laugh. Bound to get a laugh. And may I say, if you're in the act of lovemaking, right, and Benny Hill is on and he says a funny joke, it doesn't matter how funny it is. You shouldn't laugh at it, right? And this is good advice. Tried, tested advice, and it will hold you well. Let me tell you. It will do well. Anyway, how you doing, Dr. Alex? You're in Bremen now. Mini households emergency room. Well, I hope everything gets sorted out. It's so weird the episode airing so early. I keep thinking it's Sunday and hoping for the races to come out for a good laugh. Yes, it does. I think it's being this. It doesn't strike me as having a lot of confidence behind it at the BBC. Glenn Piper's here. A very good story, but sadly is now too late. Yes, I agree with you completely, Glenn. Will the quality now improve right near the end? Some of us talking about the classic series. I don't think so. Like, again, the problem is an obsession with queerness, right? I mean, that's where everything coming from, and they can't give that up. It's not gonna. It's too late anyway. It's done. It's dead, right? Now it's the wobbly set Doctor Who that's embarrassing to watch, right? It's embarrassingly woke, and people just don't watch it anymore because of it, right? It's not cool to watch Doctor Who. Used to be, right? Totally used to be, but not anymore. Super Bob Gaming. Okay, Super Bob. The world was peak. I don't know what that means. I think that's complimentary, right? And I wouldn't disagree with you. It feels complimentary to me. Robert Payne is here. Robert Payne says, nah. Well, I don't blame you, Robert Payne. I think nah is probably the right response to most things. We're up to... it was all right from what I saw, but it's ripping off every other sci-fi base under siege, mate. Yeah, except, again... Why were they making sets? I don't know. That should have been a cheap location shoot, right? That's something that should have been doable on any budget, right? You could realize. I honestly, Verity Lambert could have realized that story on a 1960s budget, right? I mean, they would have done it. Actually, they totally could. No monsters to make it cheap. Yeah, they're like, well, really? We're just going to go down to the power station and film for it. Sounds like we'll all be fine. Right, we need a junkyard, no problem. right? It's it seems like it was very not needing of the huge budget whatsoever. I would say. Apparently, BSL exists as sign language, I guess, unchanged for 500,000 years. Well, maybe the TARDIS was translating that as well, right? That could be. Ward Junior's here. Not seen it yet. It's going to be shit. Yeah. See, I don't want to shit on it totally. Shooting at was unwashingly bad. Least in this episode, right? This is the best most reined-in episode I've seen. Bobby D. If I said best shooting episode so far, it took a while to get. They didn't it? And it only got 10 minutes left. Again, being a shooting light episode next week, which I believe it is, thank God. That's just good for Doctor Who. Fine, whizzing through the chat, trying to catch up. Where are we up to? Busy Portugal says, "Hi, Rabbi." Hello, Mr. Lisa Portugal. The people are certifiable and they're destroying their own industry. They are. And that's why, again, may I recommend fan-made Doctor Who? It's fucking awesome. Right, this really feels like Doctor Who. This episode felt a bit like Doctor Who. I have to tell you. Didn't see the trailer. Gat was in it. I didn't see the trailer, but I think he's in blink and you miss it. Right? I don't think he's in it much. Entertainment Grace said it was an amazing episode. The season is amazing. Okay, good for you. I'm glad you're enjoying it, mate. Everyone gets is getting low rates because everyone is watching on iPlayer early. Yeah, no, that's not the reason, mate. That's not what the numbers say. Like, what's the name? It got I got an iPlayer bump of 7 days of 1.57 million for Robot Revolution. I agree with you. This season is head and shoulders better than last season, right? But again, it only got a bump of 1.57 million. It's very low. That's lower than it was getting last year, right? It's not getting an audience on iPlayer. No, it's done. Look, it fucked itself in the arse. It's done. I'm sorry. You know, it was dumb that it fucked itself in the arse, right? And they probably enjoy fucking themselves in the arse. But it's done. Like, kids aren't watching it. No one's watching it. It's a failure. Like, I'm sorry. Ethan Buckholder is here. Ethan, thank you for joining us. But look, you got another minimally 5 episodes. Then you got the War Between the Land and the Sea. It's not going, you got another 10 episodes of this shit. Thank God. Are you bringing the next 2 episodes there? Yes, I am. Hopefully. That's my plan. It felt like Doctor Who because it ripped off so many episodes. It was Creature from the Pit, Pit meets Midnight. Member, lots of member bearers in it. Okay, fine. All right, let's let's keep the sign of the thing up. Let's get into the. Actually, do you have any pictures from it? Let's pull up some pictures. That's probably a good way to start. We'll go. Doink. Doctor Who the World. Doctor Who the World. Again, and look, it was instead of being forging the ground with woke, this was background woke, which is, I have to tell you, the best they've done. Right? It really is the best they've done. God bless them. Grab a few images. Doink, we'll get that one of Rosa. And look, she wasn't bad, but she was very hard to understand. Again, I got to see who directed this episode. They did a really great job. The direction of this was phenomenal, right? It's really off the charts. Wish the writing was as good. That would have been fantastic, right? You can't have everything. Hang on. Even a reasonably good, I won't say cliffhanger, like pre-title scene, right? There's a lot good about this episode. There you go. Bit of Doctor Who stuff. Well, not really, sadly. Hang on. Doink. Fine. So, one thing I'm finding reasonably charming is how each episode goes right into the next one. It feels very much like the Hartnell era, right? And I find that very charming, right? Anyone see Michelle Obama Predator? No, I haven't. That's a kind of godbizing. It's kind of terrifying. I kind of feel late for Who at the moment, a bit like a kid in 1985 turning up to a kid's party with flares and your mum's your mum's ironed the knee patches. Yeah, that's where Doctor Who is right now. Never, right? It's Doctor Who's sad now. But okay, so I find it. So they're still in the 1950s, though. And I realized, but I was like, well, why on earth was it set in the 1950s America in Miami? Other than it was kind of cool, right? I think the reason why is to talk about the racism of the time, right? I can't see any other advantage they had from that. Anyway, so they're still in the same clothes, which I like, and they can't get home. And here's the thing, look, Ncuti has been portrayed as being massively incompetent the entirety of his time, right? Who's somehow insanely confident in his own choices, right? And thinks he's fantastic. And again, he's just relentlessly incompetent and doesn't know what to do. Also, he just shares nothing of the Doctor at all, right? I can't imagine the Doctor doing any of the shit he does, right? There's lots of gay shit, right? So anyway, they do a clothes change again, and again, it's very, very camp, very, very gay, right? Now, if that's your shtick, it's a bad idea. But if that was your shtick, should have had your shtick. It should have been your shtick from the beginning. Like each week, what's he going to wear this week? That should have been. But that he goes back and wears the same thing, it doesn't really work, right? You should add no template rather than occasional. Doesn't really work, right? I think you maybe should have changed the clothes every week. So they changed. They're in the future, 500,000 years in the future, right? They get bounced off. They try and go to 2025. They get bounced off 2025. And at 500,000 years in the future. And so they're going to get changed again. And they get changed into these spacesuits, right? Which are exactly the same as the spacesuits everybody else is wearing. So for me, that was like just a big plot hole, right? It was a really major plot hole. Like they could have written around it with like a word of dialogue, right? So it was a real mistake. Right, and again, it threw me out of it straight away. But then we're into quite a good, pre-title tease because it's very similar to working out what they're ripping off through this is kind of fun. But that's kind of what's going on here. What's that Tom Cruise movie where every time he dies he gets respawn, live, die, repeat. I can't remember the name. But there's a scene in it where they drop him on the beach in this battle suit, and he doesn't know what he's doing. So it opens up. They all of a sudden they step out the TARDIS, and all these people wearing exactly in spacesuits line up around them, and the sergeant over there tells you put your helmet on. Everybody, they're like, oh, okay, we'll put our helmets on, and then drop, and the ground drops beneath them, and they fall out. Right. I thought that it works as a pre-title theme because it's fun. Right. Yeah. It puts you in jeopardy, but you don't think they're going to die horribly. But yeah, reasonably fun. Man, I just realized they used this location a million times before. This is the same location they used for the Sisterhood of Khan. And I think the first time we saw it was the interior of the Sycorax ship. Right, but they've used this a lot before. Satan Pit. So the shtick is he has this season is he keeps trying to get back to Earth, and so he goes to the Vindicator. It seems like a very silly word, but the Vindicator to connect them back to Earth. I'm like, okay. And they only get to go to it bounces off. Right, so they're there. Then it gets very Aliens. What's the name? not Minority Report. What am I thinking of? Event Horizon, right? As they're there to there's a mining base that went silent 2 weeks ago, right? And they're there to investigate. So they go in and essentially everybody's dead. And again, that's all. It was a very enjoyable stuff, right? Again, Shooting Cat was just really annoying. As soon as they get inside the base, he takes his like armored jacket off and says, "Oh no, we don't want to do that." And they tell him not to do that. And they, "Oh no, we come in peace." But okay, fine, whatever. Yeah, okay, yeah. So I'm nitpicking the performance there. I'm being a bit of a dick because it's not really noticeable as I regard. I'll do the deep dive review tomorrow. I'm like, it's my first reactions. So they go looking around the base. Everybody's dead. Everybody's been killed, and they finally meet was there a Rose Eileen, whatever her name is, right? What is her name? Hang on, it says on the thumbnail. Rose Ailing Ellis, right? And she's the last survivor. And look, essentially, they separate Shooty off, and they're left alone with one or two people. Vrada Sethu left alone with one or two people. Vrada Sethu again looks like fucking hot through all of this, and she's just relentlessly stunning, right? And look, these spacesuits, and again, why aren't they the orange spacesuits, right? It's just, it's like, oh, I better get something skin tight for Shooty. So fight. So they the Shooty and the captain and everybody heads off to the bridge or whatever it is. While what's her name? Belinda, who's calling Belle now, which actually finally works. Although again, it doesn't really, because it just makes him so everyday and boring, right? He really is. She stays with her because she's a nurse and they want to help her. So there's a lot, again, kind of smart stuff. There's like this little hologram thing that comes out from their chest, or comes out from their nipple, where it says what they're saying, right? So she can read it, so they don't need... and he knows how to sign. Obviously, sign language hasn't changed. But again, I don't want to nitpick about that. Again, I can say the TARDIS is translating. And she's like the last one behind. Anyway, so while Shooty goes off to the bridge, and the scene going to the bridge is just like the scene from Event Horizon, where they get the laws to work, right? Something freaky came out the mine, and they're all dead now, right? Fine. But you get some really good horror, spooky stuff while she's alone with Belinda and the two Marines. They're again, who directed this episode? Because again, they knocked it out the park. 100% knocked it out the park. Hang on, Doctor Who, The Well. We have a episode guide. I just do Doctor Who episode guide. Episode guide. Doink. Yeah, directed by Amanda Brocci. She's awesome. I don't see her name anywhere else. She is really good. Okay, totally nailed it. What else has she done? Okay, you've now intrigued me, Amanda Brocci. Or Bocci. Looking her up. Amanda Brocci, born in Melbourne, Victoria, is an Australian director known for Picnic at Hanging Rock. Really? Girl Boss Load. Really? She can't be that old. Yeah. Wow. I mean, like, she did Gentleman Jack, which, again, is a transy history thing. I'm not really interested. I see director. Yeah, it's definitely her. Renegade Now, Gentleman Jack. She did a TV show, Picnic at Hanging Rock. Okay, my mistake. I don't see anything else that really leaps out from her resume. She did a good job with this one, right? She did a really good spooky horror job with this one, right? Because there's this was like the something at the corner of her eye thing, but it was actually realized a lot better. There's like something behind her, and at first he shot it like Belinda like turns and he played the music like there was something behind her, so that worked, right? And then it happened another time, and then there's like when you look behind her, suddenly you see something just duck behind her, like at the corner of your eye. It's very well done, right? It's very, very well done. So there's something weird hiding behind her. Back in the bridge, the Doctor finally realizes, it's because the TV's been picking a hammer with beautifully directed. She's really good. Get her for as much as you can, okay? She is a real talent, right? Did he cry? Yes. Oh, God, so much crying. Oh. Again, he thinks that's a shtick. It's a bad idea. Oh, Paul Thurston asked that. Lots of crying. I saw an American reactor and a bit where of the start where was changed from "your mum can whistle at my behind" to some muffled alternative. Okay, then. Okay, fine. So what's going on? Yeah. So there's something behind her. You at this point you notice quite how big finishy, diverse the Space Marines are. They're virtually all women and all black. There's a few white people, right? But very, very, very that you can't have anybody in authority who's not a lesbian, apparently, right? Lesbians rule the future, right? But they will come rushing back for some reason. Shooty realized he's been on this planet before. He realized it was a planet from Midnight. There's a very clunky callback to that where you see David Tennant and the woman from Midnight. It doesn't really work at all. You shouldn't have actually done the callback, right? But again, I think the core of the idea is the Midnight creature not being able to attack a deaf person, which and again, I just don't think they came up with the best idea for that. But so eventually you get the Space Marines back, and they say there's something behind it, right? And they're like, Tim Nielsen just said, "Did you notice the one male soldier with a robotic leg?" No, I didn't notice a robotic leg. I know, just like future with no, they don't have men, they have men. Right? Okay, so they start circling around, right, to see if there's anybody behind her. They're all getting a sense of behind her. And finally, when somebody gets directly behind her, he goes, and he flies out, right? He's it's a bit like Monty Python and the Holy Grail, where he's like, yeah, what is your name? Right? And he says the wrong answer. Boom, they get so there. And the Doctor realizes that the planet, I forgot about this, used to be called Midnight. And then anybody standing at midnight behind her, essentially, so directly behind the midnight position on the hands of the clock, they get zapped by this monster. All right. So, and then she says, yeah, look, the monster came to everybody first, and she ended up with her because basically she couldn't hear. That's how she ended up being the last survivor. And again, it's a bit. I had to put the subtitles on to understand her a couple of times. God bless her. But yeah, again, I think that the idea was a deaf person can't really be attacked. They didn't actually follow through with that, right? So then the Doctor has a plan. I don't really remember what it was. Right, yeah, it's a dumb plan. Now I'm thinking about it. It was a dumb plan. It was something. All the mirrors were destroyed. So he gets them to shoot the pipe behind them, which has mercury in it, and so it causes a waterfall of mercury, which is essentially a mirror, so they can see the creature behind it, but you never see the creature. but it causes it, then everybody says, everybody run, right? And they run and they get 6 people out or something, and there's 4 of them left, like the stunning and brave lesbian captain, Dr. Queer, Belinda, and one other person, I think. Yeah. And they know the creature, like when the creature loses one person, it goes right onto the next person. Right. So they can't let the creature out. So the creature's logged on to Belinda. And the doctor says, no, come to me, then you can go through all the time and space. I'm like, well, why are you saying that? And so they somehow the stunning and brave lesbian captain gets the creature on her, and she runs, and then she impersonates the end of Alien 3 by sacrificing herself down the well so the creature won't get out, right? And then they leave, I guess, I can't remember. After all the girl boss stuff and the Alien 3 Ripley death scene, they didn't check if it had been killed before they get all cocky. Yeah, so then they have a very standard horror movie ending, all right, where I can't take him seriously as a doctor. I like, yes, I got to have something skin tight, please. Don't give me the orange spacesuit. That would be weird. Why? Oh yeah, why would you do that? Okay, no. So I guess they go. Belinda and the doctor go. They get to the TARDIS eventually. Oh right, no, I forgot. It was so stupid. So the lesbian captain was also the bestest shot in the universe, and so the monster gets caught on Belinda. And so, because she's such a good shot, she can shoot her through the heart or just above the heart, and that she can be revived by the med kit, but that will get the creature off her, right? And then the creature latches onto the stunning and brave lesbian captain, and then she throws herself into the well. Okay, fine. But then you have you have one survivor. What about the 6 that got out before? You have the one survivor, and so you say, well, everything's sorted out then. It was all good. And the person looking after her in their space station, wherever it is, starts looking behind her. Is that behind you? Right? And I'm like, well, it doesn't really work there, because if there is, it's the end of all life in the, like, creatures got out at that point. Right? It's very bad. Right? It's not ambiguous, right? An ambiguous ending. So there's a lot good about this episode, particularly the direction, right? The script had too many coincidences in it and just a lot on stuff that didn't make sense. The core idea, I think, was a strong one. I think the budget was spent unwisely without getting much back for it, right? What I recommend, and normally watching this would probably be entertained if they weren't put off by Rose Ellis Eiling and Ncuti Gatwa, which they could well have been, right? That's a very likely situation. I am. So I normally probably look at this and go, yeah, okay, whatever. Actually, we'll probably enjoy it in places. It's genuinely spooky in places. Ratchets up the thrills, the scares. So by far, it's the best episode they've done. It's not even close. I couldn't recommend it, right? I wouldn't recommend it. I can understand why Normas wouldn't hate it. That's essentially my initial review of it, my initial recollection. Very derivative, very modern day cringe, but God bless them. God bless them and all that so with them. That's basically where. So anyway, I'm going to be back tomorrow night. I'm going to be on at 7:00 tomorrow, and we're going to do we're going to do a deep dive review. We'll talk about any other news of the day, which I haven't looked at anything yet. Oh, wait a minute! Stop! I forgot the most important bit. Hang on. Most important part of this stream is Real Doctor Who. So every week I'm reading 2 episodes of this real Doctor Who. So season 14, as you can see, is a Capaldi Doctor. I did the cover. That's how much I liked it, right? It's a Capaldi Doctor, K9 and Romana. It acknowledges the Jodie era, but like kind of goes sidelines the whole thing. So that's good for that. This is its 3rd and final season. The first season was a very traditional modern Who, some 2-parters, some individual stories, overriding arc. I liked it. Had a unique creative voice behind it with Alex Leaves, and I think that worked for the. It was also a new voice that worked there. The second season was one story, like Murder on the Space Orient Express, essentially. Very much like Nemesis the Warlock thing with Brian Tolbert, right? So this is the 3rd and final season, season 14. So the 2 episodes that are covering tonight is Space Coast Assassin by Lonnie, right? So this is again the tone of this book, this era of Doctor Who, and I call this an era, is definitely in its final season much more lighthearted. So imagine K9, Romana, and the Capaldi Doctor in a Douglas Adamsy universe, right? So the next episode is Space Coast Assassin by Lonnie Webb. And it takes place in the. I just read this today. Actually, it takes place in the post Dalek Invasion Earth era, which is really a very fertile era, right? Which they should really explore a lot. There's a lot of stuff you could do in that era. So yeah, that's I like the setting. There's like a derelict crashed Dalek ship there, which I think was cool. It reminded me a lot of Godzilla -1, which I really, really enjoyed, which is all about the slow recovery of Japan after the war. Which again, so that's why I find the whole post-Dalek Invasion Earth era interesting. And there's a nefarious Gallifreyan bad guy, and stuff happening with time and space, essentially, with a bit of a good bit of base under siege built into it as well. So look, this is they couldn't make it in the current Doctor Who because it's too intelligent, right? But it zips along nicely, and again, it really ticks the boxes of Doctor Who. Also, ticking the box of Doctor Who is my own what's it called again? The Hunt for the Let me see the title of my story. 1 second. The Hunt for the Worshipful and Ancient Lore of Gallifrey. So this is essentially a 3-parter I made into a story. Starts off, you have a prequel with the Doctor and Romana and K9 utilizing a defunct, destroyed force of quarks to break into a temple and a siren temple to get one of the parts of the this book missing from Gallifrey. Just as about to get it, one of the mummies whips off his hood, and it's Matt Berry essentially playing the meddling monk. Says, "Too late, old boy," and grabs a book. Next section, so they're basically both on this treasure hunt to get this book. Next section was essentially the bank job, right? And it's very much Romana looking very, very, very hot in shimmering clothes as they go to a space casino so they can break out the second part of the book. And the third one is a bit of an emotional what's the word? Elbow shift. Not elbow shift, I can't remember. Handbrake turn. Yeah, it's a bit of an emotional handbrake turn. This is set in early Holocaust era Poland as they get the final book, and the Doctor and the Monk team up to save the day. Right. Again, I find this all like really fun Doctor Who. So, if you're hankering for Doctor Who, Dr. Alex is in the chat. Go and head over to them now. I'm heading over to Dan's channel. I might have something to drink before I get there. But I'll be there next 10-15 minutes. Okay, so I'm going to head off. I'm back tomorrow at 7 o'clock with a deep dive review and a more studious look at all the important stories of the day. With that, I'm going to hit the end broadcast button. Going to hit it again and say good night